true and faithful relation would pass for many years between Dr. John Dee and some spirits. Meric Casaubon, 1659. Tuesday, Cracovia, May 22nd, 1584. In Whitsun week, Main Kirka 7. After our sitting and some prayer used, appeared a very little creature on the cushion by the stone, saying, "Put out your candle, for you shall have nothing to do today." He said, "What is your name, that we may allege your message for our excuse, seeing we were bid yesterday to labor today?" Edward Kelly said, "He is gone." He said, "After about half an hour there appeared our instructors as before time." Gabriel said, "Move, move, move not, for the place is holy." Edward Kelly said that Gabriel standeth up, and after a while said, "The heavens are called righteous because of their obedience, the earth accursed because of her frowardness. Those, therefore, that seek heavenly things ought to be obedient, lest with their frowardness they be consumed in the end, burnt to ashes with fire, as the earth shall be for her unrighteousness. Therefore be ye obedient and full of humility, using the instruments of righteousness, which is faith, that you may be partakers of celestial comforts, which are the higher of such as forsake their frowardness. It hath been said unto you, measure not God's building. It hath been said unto you, continue to the end. It hath been also told you that the determinations of God are not as yet established upon you." And in the margin we have, for the next paragraph, we have vide 1 reg dot cap dot 2 f something de revocata determination die super vibu levi vide etiam voba avidus 3 reg m capta ut et stimet Dominus sermonus suas el se. For it is written, it may again be understood, I speak this for your instruction. For many have the power of God, but not unto righteousness, as was evident among the Jews in the choice of their kings, in the very house of God, amongst those that entered into the holy place. For all that the prophets anointed were not good, not that they were evil in the time of their anointing, but because their unction and the dignity of their office was defiled in them in the end through their own frowardness. The high priests were also chosen in righteousness and in the Spirit of God, but they came rebels in the holy house, and such as of whom it is said, Altissimus altenefuic scandalum ellis. Even so may my brethren, may it be with you. He said, Jesus defend us from that inconvenience. Now, didn't he just hear that it wasn't that these prophets that anointed the messiahs came with, but such things were corrupted. And what happened after Jesus died, or what was even going on when Jesus is supposed to have died, according to the Bible, indicates, so why he's not getting the point. and these praying to Jesus. But for what's in the margin with this next group of paragraphs, cave, promissa, die, confirmator, note the second instructions on our gift of the highest, actions the greatest, move not from the place. But so Gabriel continued, for although it hath pleased God to show himself unto you, yet are you not ashamed to say, if the harvest come not in at the time appointed, I will become renegade. But you, my brethren, hath the Lord need of you. He needeth not be told. You know the contrary. Then it followeth, you have need of God. But for what and why? That your souls may overcome the world, overcome the body to the dignity of an angel, and because you are miserable and turned out to the field, full of brambles and misery, lean, naked, and unarmed, to fight against him that resisteth against the might of God. Consider these last two, and then answer yourselves for the rest. I give you a short warning. God will fulfill his promise, and, as he hath said, by this August you shall understand, 1. How to know and use God, his creatures, good or bad, good and bad. 2. But when and for what is the gift of the highest, and shall be fulfilled in you, if you will be obedient, when it pleaseth him, even with a sound from his own mouth, saying, Venit eo audit. For these actions are twofold, consider it, if you can. And they are the greatest, because they are the last, and containeth all that hath been done before them, which if you consider well, and to what you are called, you shall perceive that the judgments of God are not a tennis ball. Thus much I thought to warn you, my brethren. Have a little patience for the action. He that stirreth from his place shall find the reward of it. Now, I don't know when tennis was invented, so this is what it says. So, TENNISBALL, Thee said, after half an hour, the 12th hath the 3rd. Gabriel said, move not, move not, move not. The 15th, 3 parts. The 9th hath the 1st, the 10th hath the 2nd, the 12th hath the 3rd. The 16th hath 3 parts. The 2nd hath the 1st, the 3rd hath the 2nd, the 12th hath the 3rd. 17. The 17th, the 2nd hath the 1st, the 1st hath the 2nd, the 9th hath the 3rd. 18. The 18th is of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hath the 5th, the 7th, the 12th. Edward Kelly says, he threw like dust out of the stone toward my eyes. 19. The 19th is also threefold. 1 the 12th, 2 the 8th, 3 the 11th. The 20th is also threefold. 1 the 5th, 2 the 3rd, 3 the 7th. 21. The 1 and 20th is also threefold. 1 the 12th, 2 the 8th, 3 the 6th. Edward Kelly said, there standeth one at one of my ears, at another howling like dogs, and said, Ah, you beggar. And the interpretation of this in the margin is the tempting and eluding spirit come in place, just like that first entity here, the eluder in the margin. Gabriel said, he will deceive you. Take heed, lest you move. Which grimoire is it? Is it the Grand Grimoire or something? Some dog shows up and with blinding white light and all that stuff. Take heed lest you move. Edward Kelly said, he seemeth to be telling money behind me. D said, look not back in any case. And then Gabriel continued, the 9th of the 15th hath under him of the 12th 100, 300, 1,367. The 10th of the first hath under 1,367 of the 12. The 12th of the first, 1,886. The first of the second hath under him 9,920, and he is the second of the 12. The second of the second, which is the third of the 12, 900, 230. Now, I don't remember any book on Enoki magic that's dividing the governor names according to the 12, but the third of the third, which is the 12th of the 12th, hath under him 7,240. The first of the third, the second of the 12, hath under him 7,623. The second of the third, which is the first of the 12, 7,132. The third of the third, which is the ninth of the 12th, hath with him, or under him, 2,634. 18. The first of the fourth, which is the fifth of the 12, 2,346. The second, which is the seventh of the 12, under him 7,689. The third of the fourth, which is the 12th of the 12, under him 9,276. The first of the fifth, which is the 12th of the 12, under him 6,236. The second, which is the eighth of the 12, under him 6,732. The third of the fifth, which is the 11th of the 12, under him 2,388. The first of the sixth, which is the fifth of the 12, under him 3,626. The second of the sixth, the third of the 12, 7,629. The third, which is the seventh of the 12, under him 3,634. 21. The first of the seventh, which is the 12th of the 12, under him 5,536. The second of the seventh, which is the eighth of the 12, under him 5,635. The last of the seventh, which is the sixth of the 12, under him 5,658. What if it's supposed to be an even division of into the 12? So you would have 96 instead of 91 plus 1. There's something somewhere about missing parts of the tablet, or an extra tablet to connect to the great tablet or something. I'm not sure how that works exactly, though, but D in the margin 15th SUP of this first ternary. Okay. And Gabriel said, number every error. Have patience for a while. D said the 15th, 4,620. The 16th, 28,390. The 17th, 17,389. The 18th, 19,311. The 19th, 15,356. The 20th, 14,889. The 21st, 16,829. The first of the 4th, 7th hath 3 parts. Have patience for a while. 1 is the 12th of the 12th. 2 is the first of the 12th. 3 is the 12th of the 12th. 23, the first of the second. 2, the 7th of the 12th. 1, the 7th of the 12th. 3, the 8th of the 12th. 24, the third. 1, the 4th of, for 1, 2, the 10th. 3, the 12th of the 12. 25, the 4th. 1, the 4th. 2, the 2nd. 3, the 12th of the 12. The 5th. 1, the 12th. 2, the 8th. 3, the 12th of the 12. 27, the 6th. 1, the 2nd. 2, the 4th. 3, the 5th. 28, the 7th. 1, the 10th. 2, the 9th. 3, the 6th, of the 12. 22, The first of the first, which is the 12th of the 12, under him 2,232. The second of the first, under him 2,326. The third of the first, which is the 11th of, under him, the 12th, 2,367. The first of the second, 23, which is 7,320. The second under him, 7,262. The third of the second, which is the second of the 12, under him, 7,333. 24. The first of the third, which is the fourth of the 12, under him, 8,200. The second of the third, which is the 10th of the 12, under him, 8,360. The third of the third, which is 11th of the 12, under him, 8,236. 25. The first of the fourth, which is the fourth of the 12, under him, 5,632. The second of the fourth, which is the second of the 12, 6,333. The third of the fourth, which is the 12th of the 12, under him, 6,236. 26. The first of the fifth, the which is the 12th of the 9,232. The second of the fifth, which is the 8th of the 12, 3,620. The third of the fifth, which is the 12th of the 12, 5,637. 27. The first of the sixth, which is the second of the 12, hath under him 7,220. The second of the sixth, the fourth of the 12, 7,560. The third, which is the fifth of the 12, 7,263. 28. The first of the seventh, the 10th of the 12, 2,630. The second of the seventh, which is the 9th of the 12, under him 7,236. The last of the seventh, the 6th of the 12, under him 8,200. And D said the 22nd is 6,925, 23rd, 21,915, 24th, 24,796, the 25th, 18,201, the 26th, 18,489, the 27th, 22,043, the 28th, 18,066, and the being said, "They," I kneel to prayer, and the curtain was drawn. Oh, I guess that was D saying they, it's something, and I kneel to prayer, and the curtain is drawn. The 29th author is going to be talked about later on, but Edward Kelly said that there appeareth like the snuff of a candle on the top of the stone. It is like a little spark of fire. After this, Gabriel said by voice, have patience. They don't seem to sell those at most stores that sell candles. It's the little, cone little thing that you put on top of the candle to put it out. Pure love the snuff of the candle. On the top of the stone, it is like a little spark of fire. After this, Gabriel said by voice, have patience. D said, after half an hour, a voice said, look, to Edward Kelly. Edward Kelly said, the curtain is drawn open, Navalgi standeth. On the top of the table, Navalgi said, the first part of the first 7 you had today, the 9th, Tahando, Tahando. The 10th, the second of the first, which is the 10th, Nociabi, Noke Abe, Nokiabe. The third, Tastoxo, Tas Tuxo. 16, the first of the second, CVCARPT. Carpet. Carpet. The second, Lavacon. Lavacon. The third is governed by the 12th of the 12th. Ministers, 9240. Social. Sokial. 17. The third, the first of which is the second of Sigmorf. Sigmorf. The second, Aydropt. Aydropt. The third, whose governor is the 9th of the 12, Tocarzi. Tocarza. 18. The first of the 4th, Nabaomi. Nabaome. The second, Zafasai. Zafase. The third, Yalpamb. I'm having trouble sitting up like usual, sorry. On this chair. Yalpamb. Yalpamb. The first of the 5th, Torzoxi. Torzoxe. The second, Abaion. Abayon. The third, Omagrap. Omagrap. 20. The first of the 6th, Zildron. Zildron. And it has V and the. But, the second of the 6th, Parzi something A. Parziba. The third of the 6th, Totocan. Totocan. The first of the 7th by the 12th, Chirspa. Kirspa. The second of the 7th, Toantom. Toantom. The third of the 7th, Vixpalg. Vixpalg. Maybe the DGs to indicate the instead of just g. Navagi said the last 7. The first, Ozidaia. The second of the last 7, Paraoan. Paraoan. Did I say the last one? Ozyadea. But the third is Calzirg. Kalzirg. Ronoamb. The second, Ronoamb. Onizimp. Omzimp. The third of the second, Zaxanin. Zaxanin. Zaxanian. 24. The first, Orcamir. Or Kamer. or Kamur. The second, Chialps, Calpus. The third, Soageel, Soageel. The first of the fourth, Mirzind, Mirzind. The second, by the second of the 12th, Obvaors, Obvaors. The third, Ranglum, Ranglum. The first of the fifth, by the 12th of the 12th, 26, Pophand, Popand. Pophand. The second, Nigrana, Nigrana, Nigrana. The third, Bazchim, Bazkyum. The first, Saziami, Zazyame, Zazyame. The second, Mathula, Mathula, Mathula. The third, Orpanib, Orpanib, Orpanib. 28, the first of the seventh, Labnixp, Labnixp. Labnixp. The second, FOC something SNI, Focusne, Focusne. The third, OXLOPAR, Oxlopar. And the Valgi continued, saying, Have patience for a while, say on. The 29th hath 3 parts. The first part hath his governor, the third of the 12, the second, the fourth of the 3, the fifth of the 12. Edward Kelly said, Now he standeth on the table. The 30th hath 4 parts, 1 the 12th, 2 the 4th, 3 the 3rd, 4 the 6th, of the 12. The first of the 9 and 20th hath under him 9,632. The second, by the 4th of the 12, have under him 4,236. The fifth of the 12 that govern under 7,635. Now, in the third there, the 6 seems to be half a step up. The 2 and the 6 under that second there, and also the 6 and the 2 for that first one. 30, the 12th of the 12, 4,632. The second by the 4th of the 12 under him, 9,636. The third by the 3rd the under him, 7,632. The last by the 6th, 5,632. Now, in the first of the 30th, the 6 and the 2 seem to be half a step up, and then the 6 and the 6, and then the 6 and the 2, and then the 6 and the 2. And something, the earth is in the first division of the 29. VASTRIM. Vastrim. Vastrium. The second part of 29 air, ODRAXTI. Odraxta. By the 5th of the 12, the third, whose ministers are 7,635. 2. GOMZIAM. Gomziam. 30. The first of the 30 under the 12, Taoagla, Ta-o-agla. The second under the fourth of Gemnimb, Geenimb, Gemenyumb. The third under the third, Advorpt, Advorpit. The last by the sixth under the 12, Dozinal, Dozinal. Dozinal. Of course, the second's the hardest to say, right? Gemen Yumb. And Mal? Who's Mal? Because it was Mapsama the other day. Or is it Malsama? I have done. And the margin is the something WRTH, something none, something RE, but, and something 30. D said, as you have gave us taste or warning of Italia and Britannia, so if it be thought good to you, we are desirous to understand the rest, the application to such names as we understand. Nabagi said, make an end for today, give ever, make yourselves ready for tomorrow's action. Edward Kelly said that the curtain is drawn. D said, Deo Omnipotente Attimo Eo Maximo Universa Machina Creata Ladam Gloriam Eo Honorem Redat Nunc Eo in Perpetuum. Amen. D said there is a prayer written after the action of Monday, May 21st next year, before beginning Domin Jesu Christ, and so, etc., which I misplaced there, for after this day's action, it was said by Edward Kelly and me. And